Today I wanted to kind of give you guys the details of the subathon, poke fun at the whole Sydney Sweeney Bathwater thing, and then if you guys would like to do a Q and A, I'm currently drinking a bang right now, getting ready for the gym. I haven't had one of these like in a month and a half or 2 months, so it's really hitting right now. But yeah, guys, it's very interesting concept, subathon. I wanted to increase my followers, and I need your guys' help. So basically, right now, I we're going to start with 4 hours. It will be this Sunday, and it'll be for every follower. It will increase the every follower will increase the length of the stream by 1 minute, right? So if I get 10 minutes, it'll be sorry, 10 followers, 10 minutes. If I get 100, it'll be 100 minutes, so on and so forth. And I'm gonna probably cap it at 24 hours. We'll see, but uh, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And you guys, I might have like a wheel, a spinning wheel, and all that stuff. Where if you guys super chat, you could spin the wheel, and then I will either say something like tell a story, give like a sex tip, or you know uh, whatever just to make it more fun and excitement. This is gonna be more entertainment, but guys, please come with your questions, and all that stuff, and have fun, right? Like I just wanted to increase my followers, and all that. So yeah, that's basically what the subathon details are for and all that. And we'll get there. We'll get there. Give me 1 second, guys. Still learning this app, this platform. I'm gonna be bouncing in between both streaming services. Like I'm gonna be doing sometimes I'm gonna be using OBS and sometimes I'm gonna be using StreamYard. OBS is really good with my Sony because it's a dedicated program for that. So StreamYard cannot handle Sony's VE10 camera or a DSLR camera. So StreamYard is like more for webcams and all that stuff. Speaking of webcams, let me turn this off. Um, but yeah, that's basically where we're at with me choosing. I'm going to use this platform for the subathon, but um, StreamYard is better for like when I'm collabing, and like all the other guys use StreamYard. So if I ever do a show with someone else or Rule Zero, it's going to be on StreamYard. But I'm still thinking about transitioning completely here. I just have to take time to learn the program, and it's not that hard. It's just you know, it's just the language they use is different, and a lot of different little bells and whistles that StreamYard really streamlines for use and all that stuff. So yeah, nuke your Twitter game is savage. Yeah, I mean I'm having fun, guys. Like I really enjoy the Twitter game. Let me blow this up. I think cool. And I got to work on lighting because even though like StreamYard lighting is much better for some reason. My webcam and it captures it seems dark. It seems like it's the afternoon, but it's really bright morning. So I got to work on that. Just, I'm just hashing out a lot of the things that kind of StreamYard already has figured out for you or old webcam programs. So yeah, I'm just making it more professional and all that stuff and hopefully you guys are into it and all that stuff. So yeah. Um I also like that automatically DSLR cameras automatically blur the background. So you guys can focus on me. I know there's a lot of cool stuff behind there, but I think it's a little loud and all that. So it's better for you guys to see me and focus more on me and all that stuff. But yeah, for the most part, I kind of like this. And my dad bought it for me as a birthday gift, so might as well use it. And he likes when I use stuff that he gives me and all that. But yeah. What was I saying? Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. Mm. But yeah, that's basically what the subathon will be. Excuse me, I'm just sorry. This is really rude, but I gotta go to the gym soon. But yeah, so subathon's gonna be capped at 24 hours. I'm not going to go any longer than that for health reasons, and maybe because I have other things to do. But if the subathon goes too far, then or it doesn't go far enough or ends early enough, I will still do nuke stream that night. I don't have a topic and all that stuff. But if the subathon continues, so obviously I can't do nuke stream that night. So that's what's gonna happen with that. Uh, Man, bangs are pretty good, pretty good energy drinks, but zero calories. So trying to find my live. All right. Well, apparently there's like these little uh badges or crowns that show people's like rank or stuff. So apparently CHD you're number one and Fred Jacobs you're number two. Interesting. I guess that's new. But I just want to say again, thank you to you guys to for for getting me to 100 paid subscribers on Substack. I really appreciate that. I never thought that people would care. Like obviously we like red pill guys, there's different levels of effort they put in, right? And some will just start a podcast or start a show and just talk and blah blah blah, right? Some guys will also tweet and do the show, and some guys will write and make actual put down actual information into um into words and into essays that are more um useful or say more practical, right? The practical stuff. Sorry. And from there, uh more guys will start doing, actual write, finish the book and all that stuff. So I've always prided myself on my work ethic. It's not the best work ethic in the world, but I just don't like half-assing things. And the thing is, after seeing how Uncle Sam like got a big chunk of how much I make, hold on, yeah, sorry, yeah, a big chunk of how much I make, right? It made me kind of like have to decide, hey, either I do this for fun and not worry about the money, or I'm all in, or at least 75% in, to the point where I could, well, it can make it worth it because Uncle Sam wants a piece of whatever I make now, and a large piece, not like a couple $100s, like thousands. So I have to go all in and I have to give it a concerted effort. And what does effort mean? Effort means like I have to start figuring out, how to monetize this better and give it more streamlined advice. Whatever you guys need from me, I have to also, but also maintaining the integrity of the message of the praxology, because it's very tempting to just go do red meat content, and it does well. Like I did some red meat on somebody 2 days ago, and it did better than my other videos recently. Obviously there was a thumbnail. A thumbnail may have been riveting and eye catching and all that stuff, but for the most part, you know, it is very tempting. And it's when you have lifestyle creep and you have a um certain amount of things that you're used to, and you're a content creator, and you see how what's the word, how unpredictable uh YouTube payouts are, and some other apps too, like Twitter, even though Twitter is never going to pay your rent, but how Twitter, how unpredictable their algorithm is for paying you, or their system for paying you. And then Substack, where like Substack is a little bit more what do you call it, more stable, but still people can, you can lose 10 subscribers, or in a day or something, or in a week or something. So the reason a lot of guys are like grasping at straws, especially the bigger creators, are just jumping to whatever makes money, is because they got to keep the lights on, right? And I'm lucky in that I have a job that gives me the time to do this, but I don't have to, um, you know, scramble to keep the lights on, because my job and my company are the ones doing that. So that's a benefit for right now. But eventually, if I ever want to do this full time, you know, I would have to find a plan, get a plan to where I mitigate, risk and not put all my eggs in in one basket. So yeah. How much are you able to write off your taxes, like rent? So I last tax season I sat down and I went through all my write-offs, possible write-offs. I talked to accountant. I talked to Chad Elkins actually. He gave me quick advice and I wrote off a lot. So uh, I calculated the square footage of this area right here. You guys see it around me, behind me, and then I got that as a percent of the square footage of the apartment, and then from there I multiplied that percent by the total rent, and that calculated the amount of rent I pay for this office area around me. So I just got I what do you call it? This man, I'm at a loss for words today. I wrote that off on my taxes, and then any other equipment, like a lot of stuff. My girlfriend gave me this mic, but this arm, this mic arm was a write off. Um, any office or computer equipment, like I have a light bar for my so when I type at night, I have an extra monitor. I mean, the monitor was this year. Anything 2024 that I bought for my computer and my computer area, whether it be speakers, whether it be whatever I bought, like this keyboard, this mouse, all that stuff. All of it, I wrote it off, and it lowered my taxes significantly. Right, I think I went from paying 2,000 to 900, 2,200, 300 to $900 or something like that, right? And that was awesome. I was happy. I mean, it's not happy that I still have to pay $900 out of pocket, but happy that I was able to, lower my taxes significantly. Also, it's one of those things where you have to make a choice, right? You can't, um, you can't, I can no longer just do this for fun. I have to make a choice, or I can no longer do this at the level I'm doing it and not have Uncle Sam want a huge chunk of it, right? And so at some point, I have to make a decision. Either I'm going to make enough to make it worth my time, or I'm going to have to like take it less seriously and, focus my time on other things. So it's one of those things where you have to, my back's against the wall, but I have to make a decision soon. And right now, I'm leaning towards I want to do this more seriously. It's fun. I like to talk. You guys, I can talk for hours on this stuff, and I'm making good connections, good meeting decent people. There's a lot of crazy people, and I would avoid 95% of the people who make content similar to mine. But other than that, there's pretty decent people and all that. And a little extra money never hurt, right? Like it's nice to have my Costco bill paid for, or maybe enough money to go fly to see my mom or something. So you could take the Chad Elkins approach and review and write off drinks or energy drink. That's funny. Yeah, I don't really spend a lot of money. I just drink coffee. Today's a special day for some reason. I woke up wanting a bang. But yeah, those essentially those are my plans, or those are my plans for the channel. Just I'm gonna be streaming more. Like I'm not. I always said right now there's a countdown, right? Like what like for a lot of the guys, I have stated that before the 2020 2021, there was 2020 2021 was a year where if you were a content creator before that, or you started that year, it was a boom, right? It was like the housing market where everyone was at home watching YouTube, watching content, jerking off to OF girls, whatever. Most of the time, they were not outside, they were not socializing, they were not doing much, right? So it was a great time to make content. And in my niche, the difference between somebody that made that there's big differences, there's big divides, right? Like the biggest divide I see is man and women, right? Like a man making manosphere content versus a woman making manosphere content in terms of growth and um connections and all that stuff is markedly different, right? At this point, it's super different. We have women that just say what we want them to hear, and they will catapult to the top really fast, right? Meteoric rise and all that. And then another big divide I see in terms of engagement is people before 2020 and during 2020 2021, that time, and excuse me, people after, like the guys that started channels maybe in 2023 like me or something. Whereas it's not, I don't think it's so much that the niche is saturated, right? It's that it's early adopters versus guys that got in when it already it's either on the decline or whatever. So um people are tired of dating content. People are kind of like whatever. They're burnt out. There's not guys are just seeing the writing on the wall and just quitting, right? And I get that. It makes sense. It isn't like COVID where everyone just can't wait to get out back and socializing. So they had a positive feeling about, hey, this is gonna end soon, right? So I'm going to, I can't wait. They yearn for that normal life, and part of that normal life is dating and relationships, right? So they're not actively being burned as much or dealing with women or the opposite sex as much. Whereas, and then there's people that were actually dating during the pandemic, like if you were in a freer state like Texas or something, or was it Nevada or whatever, that essentially um, still keep dating. And it was a little easier because women during, dark times tend to want to have sex and relationships more. Go figure. Uh, but now that it's 2023, 2024, and now 2025, we've re-entered a dating market that's much different or markedly different from the one before 2020. Women, the more women than ever are online making brands, and more women than ever are, choosing to be influencers or make content or, whatever it is. It's just an explosion of people living their lives online because they carried those habits from COVID and all that stuff. Plus the Zoomers, they live their lives online, most of it too. So now we have this. Now we have me that comes in and says, "Hey, like this is how you date intelligently." And a lot of people are like, "What? Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's 2025, dude. We all gave up on this." So I think there's a big portion of that too. So it's a tough road, but that's why I'm doing subathon. That's why I'm streaming more and all that stuff because if you want more reach, you're just gonna have to nose to the grindstone and figure it out. I don't think it's more about competition, right? There's always gonna be plenty of people that are clueless about women and the opposite sex or whatever. But what I do think about is just interest. Right? I think people are just losing interest in the opposite sex. Men and women are going their own directions. I mean, all 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 data and statistics for how seriously you take them all kind of indicate, hey, men and women are like pretty much done with each other, right? There's this like last throes of dating and all that stuff, and I wouldn't say it's the end, right? I just say that we're just going through a transition phase, and men are feeling the backlash, right? We're the ones feeling an incredible amount of backlash from this quick change from traditional like normal dating that we were used to when we were in our 20s, early like before pandemic, like maybe 2016, 2015, all the way to now where it's like, you know, men and men and women don't even want to date. They just let it, they're just not interested, right? They're just like, "Ah, whatever, you know." So, uh yeah, it's a tough nut to crack. It's difficult to, get guys to y- you know, to not complain and move forward and all that stuff. But the truth is, guys, you have to it, the truth is you have to kind of look at it like it's never been easier too, right? Because if more men are quitting or more men are giving up, that means less competition, right? So I'm a type of person that look at the whole picture. Don't look at the negative. Like look what else. And this isn't like hopeful thinking. This is literally just logic. If more men are giving up, that means it's easier for guys that are trying, right? So if you get in shape, then it should be easier, and it is. And also you learn mental models about like your entitlement to women and all that stuff, and that makes it even easier. And really what's going to set you apart from most men, like I'm not talking about 0.1%, 0.01%, I'm talking about like elite, maybe 100,000 men in this whole country understand this. It's that uh, being able to take rejection well and not personal, being able to not feel entitled to women, being able to let women go. Those are the elite mindsets that are going to keep you laid constantly, right? Because you waste less time on women that don't like you. You spend more time with women that do. You're able to decipher your own bad behaviors that are preventing you from being happy. And ultimately, you're happier because you've accepted truths about that the whole rest of the population um, really is struggling with. And No amount of money can buy that. No amount of clout can give you that. You just have to look in yourself, look inward, and be like, hey, this is a human being. She has her own hang-ups and things, and why is it that I have to? Why am I so entitled to this woman, right? Or why do I feel like, she defines my worth, or why do I? Then you start digging, and then you get to the point where nobody, very few people in general, right, can get to that level of mindset, and that mindset is going to keep you happy and laid. And people around me always ask me, "How do you take this? How did you deal with that?" I'm like, "Well, I earned this mindset. No one can take it away from me, but I earned it." So yeah. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Marty? How you doing? Dildotrons 9,000. That's funny. Look, everyone has their predictions. Um, I'm more of like follow the trends. Trends don't really change unless there's like a cataclysmic world event, or like something happens that, trends remain trend. I think marriage is done. I think the scientists and the politicians and the talking heads are all going to still keep scratching their heads because they can't point the finger at women at all. They think it's 100% men. Even to this day, Tommy Lahren will go on a news broadcast and say, "Men, why aren't you stepping up?" And it's just like, what do you mean? We did step up. That's why you're in that scene in the first place. You're there because men stepped up. That's why you're there in the first place. You're not there because we're not stepping up. If we weren't stepping up, you wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be successful or whatever. And that's the issue here, guys, that society really thinks that your value is sacrifice. That's it. That you should your whole shtick in life is to is for men. Sorry, is for you to sacrifice more, because eventually, if you sacrifice enough, women will like you, right? And that's not true, right? So they're gonna keep scratching their heads. They're gonna keep yelling at the wall, yelling at men. Men are gonna be like, whatever. I'm going back to whatever thing I was doing before. And some guys will participate and all that stuff, but then what I think also is going to happen, and I don't think these are predictions. I think this is just like logical conclusions. And guys that actually are trying and think, hey, I want a family and be monogamous, they're going to slowly kind of realize, like, holy shit, like I got too many girls. Like I got four prospects. What happened? I turned 31. I'm like, yeah, dude, because a 31-year-old guy that's in shape and on the way to making good money and a good career, that's fucking rare, right? And throw in there that you know your value, throw in there that you actually are like kind of sociable. Yeah. Cool. Throw in there that you know how to take pictures and market yourself on Instagram and dating apps. You're gonna have too many women, right? I'm not saying they're gonna be all models, right? But you're gonna be kind of stressed. Women are going to start approaching you. Trust me. It gets ridiculous. Like you have this whole internet talking about you being an incel or angry and all that stuff, but like once you put in a little work, and which really a good physique takes a year, right? With considered effort, year max. After that, like you're pretty much going to have that physique for, just minor improvements, your beginner gains and all that, lose some fat. Now, if you're fat, it's going to take longer, right? But if you're just a regular build and you want to build muscle, a year, 6 months to a year, you're going to look radically different. So just by doing that, guys, I'm not saying you're going to find your perfect wife. I'm not saying you're going to find a perfect girl, right? But you're going to have a lot to choose from. And that's better than having nothing to choose from and sitting on your hands and all that. So yeah, no guy I know is going out like that though. It'll be easier for the winners. It's responsibility without authority. All they got is beating shall continue until tomorrow improves, but it just won't work. It ain't 1950 anymore, and it ain't coming back. I think you're right. Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's an unstoppable, it's an unstoppable object versus an immovable wall, right? They're just going to keep clashing. No one's going anywhere. And it's just like while they try to figure out and scratch their heads, and trying to skirt around the fact that hey, women just don't want to be in a relationship anymore, guys are going to go out there, right? And the way you spit back at the system is literally going out and having a good time. It's not, discussing women. It's not starting a red pill channel. It's not analyzing them. It's literally just stepping outside and going to where women are, whether it be a pool party, whether it be a bar, whether it be a salsa night, whether it be a sporting event like pickleball, run club, biking club, all these events where there's hot, attractive, happy women. And when I say happy, I don't mean like happy, like right? They're girl bosses. Most American women are girl bosses, right? And most American women kind of don't know what they want. They say they want a man, but they do zero effort. But that's the thing. That's in the abstract. That's discussion. But when a man in your own life, right, you have the power to remove attention and affection. So if you find a girl that you like and she's like, "Hey, I want to go to this Miami trip," and you're just like, "Okay, cool. I didn't know. I thought we were going. I thought we were gonna be more serious." But it's okay. It's whatever. Have fun. She's like, wait a minute, why are you talking like this? I'm like, oh no, I just didn't see you as that type of girl. But it's all good. I thought we were going towards something serious, but and yeah, and that's all you can. Remove your affection, attention, and commitment. And the thing is, that's gonna give you so much more power. It won't make you omnipotent. I don't know how to say that in this context, but uh you have some sway, you have some leverage, right? And the leverage is that you're awesome. And it doesn't take that long to be awesome, right? In a year, you can be radically different. You get maybe most jobs give you like one pay raise a year, so you can make more money. So just work hard 1 year, you know? Do what it takes. If you got a brown nose, brown nose. Don't let the internet tell you what the value of your labor. Go to the gym, figure out what you got to eat, sleep more, go on dates here and there, fail, you know, and you'll be a different man. Really, you'll be completely different. And that's all it takes, guys. And it's not the solution all bend all to all your problems, right? But man, will it increase your life, your happiness, your everything just gets better. And I just can't take guys seriously that or just like it doesn't matter anyway. Like seriously, it doesn't matter. um it's to the point, guys, where I go out and I feel sorry for women because there's just not enough guys around. Like I go to a salsa night and dance, and I was dancing with both a mother and then I danced with her daughter. These two like 6 foot tall, five. The mother was 5'11", blonde woman, older blonde woman, and she looked great. She's very in shape. And then the daughter is like, I don't know how old she is, but she is a 6 foot tall, like Viking, very fit girl. And both of these women, I was talking to the mother and the daughter, and I'm like, where's the guys here? Guys should be all over this. Guys should be salivating over like, if you're a MILF hunter or cougar hunter, you should be all up in this girl's face right now. And then if you are if you like tall women, you should be up in this girl's face right now. And they're sweethearts. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I just stood around and I've been friendly and I'm in that space as friends with everyone. And I'm like, where are the dudes? Dudes should be like salivating over these women. These are the women that they post on Twitter and they're just like, what do you think, guys, fellas? And I'm like, fellas, where are the fellas? They're not in public spaces, right? And then it's just like when people decide to be lazy or useless or just incompetent, one of the favorite things they want to do is just take up space to make it harder for incompetent people. They don't want to move out the way, right? So you'll be in somewhere talking about how to win in life, and then somebody that's lose has to step in there and say, "Hey, but I lost, and this is why you'll lose too." And I'm like, dude, go to where your other loser people are, right, and discuss how to lose. We're discussing how to win. And they just want to be like, you fit people will be online and we'll be like, hey, most people are fat, here's how to not be fat. And they'll be like, I don't like when you talk about fat people like that. I'm like, then go talk to other fat people about how awesome you are, and let people that want to live long healthy lives talk about how to live long healthy lives. So when on your journey to self-improve, it's not like it's cliche. They're like, oh, it's a lonely rise to the top. No, no, no. You're gonna find even better people, better friends as you become a better person yourself. That's just life, right? If you're a lazy sack of shit who smokes weed and is fat and all that stuff, you're going to be surrounded by also shitty people. That goes without saying. But if you're a go-getter and you do a little bit of effort, your people are going to want to hang out with you, right? Unless you're a dick, right? And that that's a different thing. But most of the time people are going to value you and all that stuff. So as you get better, that you get better friends surrounded by better people. They'll be busier, right? You'll see them a little bit less, right? Because your loser friends don't have much to do or much going on. But you will have better quality time with them, right? You don't have to worry about them being awkward around women because most of your friends are gonna be they're like leaders in their company. And then leaders they're just people that have been through the system, right? and understand what to say, what not to say, how to respect a woman in a certain context, how to talk to women. And you're gonna be like, hey, I have three female friends coming. You're like, yeah, cool, bring them on. Whereas with your loser friends, you're just like, hey, by the way, my friend's a little weird. Sorry, and that's because the loser friends never go out. They just, and that's what I'm saying. So that's a myth. Being better and more well established and smarter and more jacked gets you better friends. It's just really. So um, I see you got reduced bandages on that hand nuke. Good stuff. Yeah. So the cast is off, and my finger is now. I could take this off and clean my finger and all that stuff. I just got this plastic thing so I don't bump it because there's still a pin going through my finger. So if I bump it on anything, it's like a burning hot needle sensation through my hand. So they gave me this so I don't bump it. It works great. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to start cleaning my finger like every 2 to 3 days. 3 days. I don't touch anything with it anyway, so I'm gonna clean it today and just wash it up and all that. But yeah, I got 4 more weeks out before they can take this pen and I can get back to work and stuff. So yeah. Um so yeah, I got plenty of time. Probably gonna finish video games. I might, visit my girlfriend's parents. I might visit my parents. We'll see how money is and all that stuff because I don't like to when you're not in a state to work, right? And people are like, "You have the rest of your nine fingers." I'm like, "Yeah, but if something happens here, this recovery is very fragile recovery, right? It's your fingers, you know. Um, if something happens at work, they're liable, and then I can't. If I fuck up my finger, that's an even longer time out. So it's better just to chill, and all that. So yeah. So yeah, guys, thanks for asking again. Life update. Yeah, I'm out till the June 28th, so I'll be bringing you more content and all that stuff. And hopefully you guys keep listening. Whatever. Uh, Ishan Varma. Any advice for an Indian? What does that even mean, dude? Like, what do you mean? Like, what's your specific question? If you're gonna ask questions, be as specific as possible. For a lot of guys, they have these pre. They have these nerfs, right? I call them nerfs. Like in video games, they nerf characters or something. They have these self-imposed nerf that they're just like, oh, I'm Indian or I'm short or I'm Asian or I'm this or I'm that, right? Um, and the thing is, that's all in the head. That's all in your head. Yes, you have to be able to handle criticism in a elegant way. Like if a guy makes fun of you for being Indian, or have it's a shit test, right? Because the whole world thinks you suck because you're Indian because you're just in the limelight now, right? It is what it is. So just don't take, like take a joke like a man. Like other men like men that take jokes. If you can take a joke, right, then people will be like, "Oh, I can trust this guy. He's one of the good ones," right? And that's how just men think. That's normal. So make sure first before you think about women, think about, "Hey, how do I make myself likable? What are the jokes I expect to receive? Am I going to take them personally? If I still take them personally, that means you have no game. People don't like you. And if men don't like you, what makes you think women will, right? So there's that. Number two is, you know, there's certain things that are you have to come to grips that are unattractive about your culture and your people, um, that you have to overcome in other different ways. That it is what it is. You got handled cards. Now you play them the best you can, right? And um, a lot of men are lucky enough to be born into cultures known for being sexy, attractive, and all that stuff. Like if you're a man and you're in shape and you have a British accent, that's going to take you far with American women, right? American women love men with British accents. It is what it is, right? If you're a guy, if you're Dominican like me, you are basically you're gonna get hounded by black women for your whole life, and I am. Like literally every time I go out and there's black women around, I get hit on like bad. So every man has nerfs and things that make him suck without and then there's things that you got to use to your advantage. For being Indian, I would say, look, you have to. I don't know what your religion is, but one thing I see about Indian men is that what are the stereotypes, right? Look at the stereotypes that people clown you for, and go against that, right? So if if a stereotype is like, hey, like Indian men are skinny, or skinny fat or whatever, right? That means you have to start putting on some muscle, right? That means you have no like it's like a Dominican man can get away with not as much muscle and have a average physique because we're known to be charming and dancers and just very masculine, right? That's our culture. So like it's already we already have that going for us. Women automatically expect us to be a certain way, at least in the Latino world. But for Indian men, they expect you to be skinny and lanky, right? And just but I know that your culture maybe doesn't allow for meat, or maybe your stomach biome doesn't, but you have to find a way. You have to put on muscle. You have to start getting jacked, right? Like build a physique. Not because of insecurity, but because you're trying to get that juxtaposition where everyone expects you to be a certain way and you pop out like freaking jacked, right? Um, Another thing is like, maybe uh, if you have an accent that's not sexy, improve your English. Get more American. If you're in the United States, right, like learn American culture, get with the program of American culture, right? Because I have friends that they're Hispanic, right, but they have a lot of trouble getting used to American culture. They don't understand the humor here, the pace of life, the sarcasm, the way women speak, the way, and then they end up, having to date within their own culture, and you're you're reducing your dating pool from like 100% to like 5%, right? You're never gonna get laid, or you're never gonna be able to enjoy. One of the best things about this country was access to women from all over the world, right? So there's that, and then obviously, like every man on earth, learn game, you know, learn game, and like a guys with high IQ suffer from this, that where they overthink it and they think it's just an if then statements. I'm like, no, it's just art. You're painting a canvas, right? So at the end of the day, those are what you have to do. But other than that, every it all applies the same, right? Be able to laugh at your stereotypes, build work on the things that your culture is known for being, for the negative things about your culture in terms of dating and sexual attraction. Build on the positive ones, right? Like, maybe Indian people are smart here in the United States. So that doesn't mean act stupid, right? It means like, hey, this is a positive thing. You can be smart, right? But if you're skinny fat, then get jacked, get in the gym, right? Be a bro, be a gym bro. Like that is an Indian guy that's a gym bro, kind of like is the juxtaposition to an Indian guy that doesn't understand humor, that doesn't lift weights and all that stuff. So yeah, cool. Um, what's up, Mish? Nice to see you. Everyone say hi to Chat of Arabia. Great point. The PR for Indian guys is absolutely brutal, so the baseline is much lower. Lower weight, easier to stand out. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. That's the positive. Like if you are a jacked Indian dude that understands American culture, humor, and you're able to make fun of yourself, right? Um, then you're gonna be a hot Indian dude. You're still gonna be Indian, but you're gonna be a hot Indian, and that's what you want. Like you can still be proud of your culture and all that stuff, and still, but you have to adapt to American sensibilities, right? Because if you don't, you're just gonna be dating your own women, and that reduces your dating pool by a lot. Hey, what's up, Alex? How you doing? But yeah, so Sydney's bathwater. Sydney decided to go to the Gooner route and sell her bathwater. I don't know what's going on. I thought she was an A-list actress that had like a whole bunch of movies coming out, but I guess I don't know what happened. Uh, cool. I just know that maybe hey, it has something to do with me saying that she was a catfish and all that stuff, but I didn't say she was a catfish. I said all women are. It would be fun or interesting to find out that one of the things that knocked her confidence was some brown guy on the internet that said all women are catfishes. 34 million views on just the post, and then everything else, millions of views on everything, right? So yeah, it's interesting, like what maybe guys are buying it unironically or ironically, whatever. Maybe guys are just don't understand that this is like an attack on their dignity. You should be able to look at this and be like, yo, like this isn't, you know what I'm saying? Like this is uh this is like not this is not normal, right? This is you're not supposed to be buying soap infused with another woman's bath water, right? And I know zero woman on this planet who I would like to rub bath water, their bath water on my. I think that's disgusting, right? Like, do guys forget that women are gross too? Like, you know, yeah, like I like women, but you understand that like when they shower, they have bacteria and all that. Like, how did first of all, how did this get FDA approved? Like, where do they have to like boil the water that comes off of her bathtub or something? Does she sit in the bathtub for like 5 minutes? Is it even real? So many questions. I personally think I don't think it's real. I think that they asked Sydney Sweeney what perfumes she uses, and then they infuse it with the water, and then they claim, "Oh, well, yeah, it's bathwater because it smells like her or something." I don't know. I just think that it's such a it's one of those things where if you guys look at your Instagram reels or if you guys have TikTok or have you have whatever, right? You can tell that the sexual women using their sexuality, and I'm not talking about sexuality like wearing a hot gym clothes or bikini and all that stuff, right? It's just that that's what social media is becoming. It's all this. It's all like just gooner content and hey, like whatever, like you can be into anime and like anime and tits, right? Um, or like the other day, I looked at some Lego content, right? And this girl was talking about like, oh, this is the oldest figure that exists that I have in my collection. I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's interesting. I used to have lots of Legos when I was a kid, so I'm interested in this. And then the second half of the reel was the figure in her bent over. Lego has Gooner content. what what am what is this, right? And it's coming, and that's what the internet is. And all of us are, like in the red pill. Like we gotta show literal porn stars half naked to get people to watch, right? And it it's sad, right? Because it's just it almost seems like low effort, right? People are so desperate to make money online easy that they use it's like almost I want to say selling out, but it's like, hey, um, you don't want to have a job. You can tell. Like your desire to not have a real job is so high that you're willing to put a Lego figure in your back pocket and bend over and make content. You know? Like, yeah, it's all Gooner bait. The whole internet's Gooner bait, so you can buy your branding is all Gooner, like Gooner infused with Goonerism is infused with everything now, right? Red pill, Lego, anime, whatever. Like, I bet I can find anything, any interest on the internet, and there's some Gooner bait. I think there's nothing on the internet that doesn't use Gooner bait to get people to watch. I think at this point, nothing. I think everything has Gooner bait. If it's marketed towards men, it's Gooner bait. A Dominican man wearing skinny jeans making white eight-listers sell bathwater for validation. Clown world. Yeah, it is kind of clown world, which makes it fun, right? We're just having fun. There are a lot of maladjusted freaks out there. You would not believe the DMs my last girl got. It's no wonder we got all these incels out here. Yeah. I even wrote about that. I don't know if you read that article in Substack where I was like, you guys have no idea what the disgusting messages women are getting. Or sorry, yeah, women are getting. Like send feet pics and all that stuff. That's why I'm like, hey, um, when you're not excited over her nudes or her promises of future intimacy and sex through text before you meet her, that is a demonstration of higher value, right? Because every other guy is like feet pics, hey, what's up, nice titties or whatever on the internet, right? And it's just like, and then she meets a guy that she's like, hey, here's a picture for you, and you're just like, cool, see you at 8. She's like, whoa. And that's why the divide, like I said this in Rule Zero in 2023, my first time on Rule Zero, that the divide between alpha and beta is going to get even wider. It's going to get so wide that like guys that are like completely full beta are going to eat less, and guys that are alpha are going to have too much. They're going to have too much. There's just going to be too many women. Like I've already seen it. Like I went out to salsa night the other day, and sorry. Excuse me. I went out salsa night. Not last. The last time there wasn't a lot of women, but the time before that, and I was turning women away. Like, hey, And I know it's just dancing, and it's not like super sexual, right? At least not to us Latinos, but there's women there. It's a social place. Women are on their best behavior. They're having fun. They're happy. So, yeah. What strategy did you use to pull pearl so effortlessly? Same strategy I used on any woman. I was attractive. Remember, this is the strategy, XO Charles. Be attractive, don't be unattractive. That's it. That's the strategy I use. $5 from Alex Patino. Come on, Nuke. You know it's a farce. Just put tap water, and there are the Sims who live in La La Land and pay for a fantasy. Yeah, dude. You think if a man made bath water, you think like women would buy Henry Cavill's bath water? I think so, right? I don't think it's so much that. I think it's just a branding thing. But the thing is, like, what would you guys do, right, Alex? Let's ask you, Alex. What would you do if you walked, like, if you were in your boy, like, you came over to your boy's house and you walked into their bathroom and you were just like, let me use the bathroom real quick, and you saw in their bath or in their bathtub or like on something in a next to their sink a bar of Sydney Sweeney's bath water. What would you like confront them, or what would you do? Would you like look the other way, or would you be like, oh, what would you do? That was an interesting question. I mean, have you heard of chicks using Down syndrome filters to promote their OF? Everything's fucked. Enjoy the decline. Yeah, it's just listen, guys, and over time this may make sense or not, but like you're going to realize that like the reason you dislike OF girls or some women in general, it's not because they're hoes. I promise you. You dislike them because they're just bad people. They're just beggars on the internet, right? If you're willing to look retarded, literally, like Down syndrome, literally look like you have Down syndrome in order to sell box, right? Because you don't want to work a job. That gut feeling you feel inside of me, like, oh, she's a hoe. No, bro. I'm like, no. It's because she's a bad person. She sucks. She sucks as a human being, right? That's all it is. Like, if you guys went on a date with a hoe, and I have gone on dates with hoes, and it was a good time, and she was polite, and sometimes even offer to pay half the bill, and sometimes they are sweet, and sometimes they do things for you, right? And whether you wife them up, that's your decision, right? But you're not gonna be like, "What a horrible person." You're just like, "Hey, it's just a girl. It's just a hoe with a heart of gold." That's what we like. We like hoes with hearts of gold, right? And here's another thing. Um, you see this guys too. Like, they're like beggars. Sometimes I feel like a beggar, right? I'm just like, really, I'm really asking for super chats on the internet. Am I even worth this? I'm not saying it's self doubt. It's like a dignity thing, right? Like, hey, should I be doing this? But then I realize, like, I look back on my content. I watch my own stuff, because I'm not narcissistic at all. I swear. And I'm like, wait, I sound professional. I sound like I take this seriously. Other guys more experienced in this stuff are saying that I'm actually staying close to the true message of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. But if at any moment they were like, if I was embarrassing myself or my family or my friends or anything like that, I'd be like, I couldn't do this because it's a dignity thing, right? Um, yeah. Rule 34: if it exists, there's porn of it. A new rule 34: if it exists, there's bathwater of it. How about that, grim villain? It's pretty crazy how commonplace gooning and self-identifying as gooners has become. Yeah, it's just like, dude, just jerk. I think what it is that guys don't have anything to do, so instead of like getting cranking it for 30 minutes and getting back to their day, they just crank it for the whole afternoon, right? I'm like, guys, like, just crank it. If you're gonna crank it, if you're having trouble getting laid and you just want to crank it, right? It's your body, of course, but just crank it for 30 minutes and like do something else, dude. Like, I promise you, cleaning your house, tending to your plants. I got some plants. I gotta water them. Going for a walk, going having a coffee is more rewarding to your dopamine system than just gooning for hours. It's not. It doesn't solve. It doesn't make you less horny. It Here's what it does. It makes you incapable of solving your horniness. It does not. When you have real sex, you feel like, "Ah, okay, I am no longer horny for the afternoon. I am taken care of, right? You feel true inner peace because you fucked, whether it be some girl on the street you met or your girlfriend, wife, whatever. Porn, it's like, yeah, it's great. You're seeing all these images, right? And I don't agree that it just changes your brain chemistry or rots your brain. I don't think that. I just think that, hey, you think it's because, oh, I just want to kill this horny. I just want to kill the poison inside of me, which is being horny. But the truth is, it doesn't kill it, right? It just you're still gonna wake up horny. It doesn't solve the problem, right? I think what it does is it calms your nerves maybe, but it doesn't solve your problem. You still have to step outside and all that. And you'll realize this because a lot of guys have to make a choice, right? They'll finally get a girlfriend or maybe a spin some plates and they have a floppy dick and they can't or they get their erection is less than ideal, right? And you're just like, fuck, it's either I start fucking my girlfriend who I love, um, well, and give up the porn a little bit, or I continue the path I'm on and watch all these girls leave because I can't perform sexually. And they usually pick the girls, as they should, as a human being, right? And it's a transitory period, and that's usually what how guys stop it is because they have to make their backs against the wall and they have to make a choice. Like, hey, if I jerk it, I'm not gonna be able to please my woman or the women in my life. And there's nothing men like more than pleasing women. Like our ego, we need that. So, yeah. I saw your pic and started barking. It is way too common now. And guys believe it's a good play. Like, yeah, guys, like as much as we like try to dunk on these guys that like comment that, go like sometimes on my for you page on X, it's just like a girl with like massive titties or massive ass, right? Just boom, right? And if you do enough research, right, you'll see that her titties are not that big. If you see a side profile where the camera is like actually at her level and she's not like bending forward and she's not wearing like titties are just like smaller, like three sizes smaller than what you thought, right? So first off, guys with experience, guys that date, know that anything a woman posts online about her body is complete total bullshit, right? We've seen all the catfishing. Anywhere from Sydney Sweeney to that Lolita chick to redhead libertarian. Doesn't matter what age, what background, what culture. All women share the same thing. They lie about their appearance online, right? Some way or another. And then these guys are just like Totem said. I saw your pic and started barking. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like, dude, you don't like uh, at least make a side account. Like horny on main, bro, is insane. Make a side account where you have like 13 followers to get that shit out of you, bro. Like you don't have to do that. But it's a lost cause, guys. If you guys keep trying to shame these men, there's no shaming men. Every society is going to have a shameless class, and you beating on them is not going to, yelling at them is not going to change, right? You can't hold sips accountable, and you can't hold women accountable, right? Let them let that ecosystem and that economy, work, right? Because one day it may crash, right? Or one day something happens. I don't know, but you don't have to participate in that. That's not you, right? You're part of the elite group of men that actually step outside and say hello to a attractive woman. You're not. That's not you. Um, yeah, I would be like, yeah, he's not gonna make it. Mm. Yeah. Hey, wait, but would you go up to your friend and be like, tap him on the shoulder and be like, yo, bro, and go to his ears like, hey, bro, by the way, I don't think you're gonna make it. I would take it as a duty to that get that friend to pull his head out of his ass or friendship ends. Yeah. Would it be worse if he had like a wife and his wife didn't know? Like, oh, this is just a new Sydney Sweeney soap, and he took off the label off the soap. Bro, like this introduces a lot of questions, in terms of like friendships, dynamics, and all that stuff. I don't know. Fred Jacobs. I don't know if he'd be super close with him after that. He needs a real good reason why he got that shit. If it's a day one humpy, I'll throw it away and forget it happened. Deny seeing Yeah, Fred is like gonna be in denial. Like, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. My homie, who me and him used to go out and like, and We used to like Sarge together, and we used to do two mans. Ain't no way this man's buying Sydney Sweeney Bathwater. Ain't no way. So it's like one of those things that maybe guys are gonna have to keep it secret. It's gonna be like in their closet in a box. It's gonna be like the new porn mag, right? Wouldn't it be like the new porn mag where you don't want anyone to see your porn stash, right? So you just put it in a box, lock it, and then once in a while you look around, you're just like, ah, and all that. If we had a wife, I'd be like, "You're cooked, bro." Then I distance myself slowly. Dude, like he'd invite you. Hey, you hopping on Hell Divers today? And you'd be like, "Oh no, dude, I'm I found this new game. I found Sim City. I gotta play that. It's single player, so we can't hang out or something." Oh shit, that would be funny. God damn, that would be funny, wouldn't it? But all right, let me see if I can make this brighter. I configure video. Oh, there is no camera control. It's just maybe I have to. Oh yeah, I have to go into the camera and maybe get the aperture or the settings, make it a little brighter because it's dark as hell. I look like I'm in my goon cave. What is a goon cave though? Oh, okay. Have fun, Love Gun. Enjoy our women. What is a goon cave though? So for me, a goon, like, why do you need a cave to goon? Is it because you want to separate your gooning from your like office? Like if you're a professional, like you have your office, you have stuff, and everything's nice and neat. You would you would you jerk off there, like, or would you want to like go somewhere? Like, are you so embarrassed of that you have to go into like become like a goblin or a gremlin and go into a dark, dirty cave and just you know what I'm saying? The nuke cave, yeah. This man is killing me. Hey, bro, I just woke up in a silly mood today. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just sensationalism. I don't think obviously some guys will buy it ironically, but I think a lot of us, if we saw our friends doing this, we'd be like, "Yo, come on, man, are you serious?" And it'll probably be like one of those things that guys will have just washed with it secretly or something. And you know, business is hard. We're not doing well. The economy's not doing well right now, right? So businesses have to do whatever to survive. A-list actresses have to do whatever, and eventually, like these two ideas merge. We're like, hey, let's use this woman's sexuality to sell soap, and it's controversial. It's a controversial product, right? Should it be? Are certain stores going to sell it? Probably not. Probably going to have to go directly to their website because this is like hard to defend, right? So, yeah. Trying to maybe make this bigger. How about that? Okay. All right. So, yeah, so we talked about Subathon, we talked about just basic Q&A. Um yeah, I don't even have good hair and black women love me. Love gun like the dirtiest pickup lines and the most aggressive kind of women that have been hit on me are black women. It's pretty rough. I'm like, "Yo, chill out," you know? And and obviously the least aggressive are Asian women, but Asian women are like every culture is different. Obviously you got to calibrate. But I could talk about every culture. I would say black women are the most aggressive. Latinos are the most jealous. Black women aren't as jealous. Like black women are like they kind of understand that you got it like that. So if you hit on their friend, they're just like whatever. He's just he's a hot guy, whatever. Latinas are kind of possessive. Like if you hit on one, they don't like you hitting on the friend. They're very kind of jealous. White women are like spaced out in environments. They're like, yay! They're like, white women like to get more hammered than other races when it comes to um partying or being around men. So, they're very like they kind of see you like an archaeology exhibit, like, oh my God, a Latino man. So taught him with the $5. Oh, you didn't. Is there a message attached to that or whatever? Off topic question. But when a girl offers IG, when I ask for a number, I typically take it as a sign of lower interest and don't bother thoughts. Yeah. I mean, unless your IG is like absolutely popping and curated to the max, um, you know, obviously a number is very personal, and women kind of use it as a like, hey, no, I'm interested. I'm just, I just don't give out my number for. They always use safety as an excuse to, um, not do certain things, right? And you have to go by because if you disagree, then that means you're the unsafe one, right? And here's the thing. Women don't care about their safety as much as they say. Women do crazy things. They're constantly bitching and complaining about safety and men being unsafe. But the biggest cohort of travelers is women right now, traveling to, and they travel solo to countries. I would not travel solo anywhere in the world. Nowhere. There are zero places unless I'm going to see my family or meet someone there or for work. And usually when I travel for work, it's like a safe city, like Oklahoma City or Kansas City or anything like that, where like it's basically just Dallas but smaller. Like I understand how things move. It's basic America. Like I feel safe here. But like I wouldn't go to Miami alone, even though I've been sent there for work. I wouldn't go to LA alone. I wouldn't go to New York alone. Um, so yeah, it doesn't mean give up. It just means like, hey, she isn't she like Instagram is just a buffer for women, right? That like, hey, I want to see what this guy's about. I'm not sure about him, right? Because sure as hell, if you were like the dance instructor at a salsa night, or you were the DJ, right? Or you were pulled up in a Lambo or something like that, women would be okay with you asking for their number, right? It's just because they don't know enough about you and feel attracted to you enough to give you the number right out. So they kind of make you, they want to see, okay, I don't know anything about this guy. What if he turns out to be awesome? Let me double check first. So I don't take it as defeat, but take it as a slightly lower, not so much attraction, but like rapport is not as high, right? You got to build trust. First is attraction, then trust. And if you don't build up enough attraction, you can't get to the trust part. And what she's doing is, okay, he's hot, but like he's just another guy I met. He's hotter than the rest, but and then when they see their Instagram and you flirt and then you set for a date, um, a lot of women end up being surprised about like how much they like you on a date because they're just like, whoa, like why are men, because men are bad at marketing, right? They see our normal regular ass Instagram. So yeah, don't take it as defeat, but also it definitely is, hey, I don't like you as much. But that isn't defeat, right? It's like remember, women's attraction is a slider, right? It isn't one or a zero. So yeah. I support the Napier appeal and be friendly with everyone in your gym. Yeah, depends on where I live. No one talks to each other. We're like in America, everyone's like fucking hustle and bustle, go, go, go. No one's sitting down and socializing at my gym, And if you hit on, I mean, girls don't mind if you hit on them. It's not like they're gonna like run away, but they're also not. It's not a place to socialize. Like the gym is not. No one socializes at my gym. And any gym I've ever been to, I didn't see heavy. In Puerto Rico, when we used to go there for to see my parents, yes, there was a lot of friends and socializing and stuff like that. But that's just the culture. Puerto Ricans love to socialize. They're very friendly people. But in America, everyone is RBF, focus on their workout, headphones in, hat down, and just get in and get out because that's the pace of life here in America. So yeah. Um, but yeah. All right, guys. So be on the lookout for Subathon. I expect to see all you guys there. It'll be Sunday in the morning, and I'll just go until, and it'll be for every sub, it'll be 1 minute added to the time and all that stuff. And guys, it's gonna be Q&A. It's gonna be personal stories. It's gonna be just chatting it up. It's gonna be reacting to videos and all that stuff. So what I'll do, what I'm thinking of doing, you guys, if you have suggestions, hit me up on Discord and all that stuff. But what I'm thinking I want to do is like for every if you super chat $10 with a link of a video that you want me to react to, like on Instagram or Twitch, or sorry, not Twitch, or TikTok or something. I don't have a TikTok, but on anything like that, right? Then you can uh then I'll react to it and give my insight on it and all that stuff, man. I feel kind of weird, like I'm some kind of guru or someone, but hey, I want subs, right? So It's gonna be capped at 24 hours, guys. I cannot do more than 24 hours because I'm not a psychopath. But uh, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. And I think there's gonna be a spin the wheel feature where if you guys super chat, it'll spin the wheel and you guys get to do something. But yeah, that the main thing of the subathon is for every sub is 1 minute added. So if I get 10 minutes added. If I get 100, that's an hour and 20 minutes. Sorry, an hour and 40 minutes. And all that. So again, guys, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching me. Oh, yeah, Expedition 33. I'm going out for cigars with the boys today. So I don't know if I have time today. I'm gonna be working on getting the subathon set up and all that. But yeah, it'll come either today or tomorrow, Grim. I got Rule Zero tomorrow, but yeah, it'll come today. Tomorrow. YouTube does not allow us to send like, oh shit, that's right. Fuck. Unless, damn it. Maybe if you guys send them on Discord, I'll make a free Discord or unprivate or a public Discord server, and I will hey send links to React, and then you know we'll do it that way. I mean, it's not the best, but I mean I have plenty of time. And guys, you don't have to be there the whole time. Like if you could pop in, pop out, ask your questions and all that stuff. Yeah, so yeah, simply too awesome. Maybe I'll just do it through Discord, right? I'll put the Discord link at the beginning for the specific board or hashtag and be like, hey, send your things here and I'll react. And guys, like nothing nothing that can get me in trouble. I trust you guys. Nothing that can get me in trouble, nothing that is way too out there, nothing that requires me to, I don't care about race or anything like that. I mean, it's funny, but I'm not going to react to stuff that can get my channel in trouble, obviously, right? You guys don't know that. And yeah, and if we, we can raid other channels. I know some people are going to be streaming that day and all that stuff. But yeah, we can raid other channels and make fun of other channels, or you guys can make fun of me. Whatever, guys, whatever. I wish I could watch anime on stream, but I think that's a copyright violation or something. So, um, yeah, guys, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be working on that today. So, thank you guys